Hello, hello, HRA, welcome. Um, Intro is going to be a bit weird because I am setting up the lobby. Do 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 do. Okay. Alright. Apologies for the delay. Anyone who's joined, please invite everyone else you know of who's racing. Yeah, right. Alright. Apologies for the leaving, but I will be back in a bit. Look to all the announcements for everything. Apologies for the delay. HRA is back. Once again, I cannot do Division 1 Friday as I'm on holiday again. Next week I can, as we get first cars out on track and we get ready to go here. Apologies if there's any minor discrepancies in my commentary today or in the lobby in general. I've tried my very best, but this is my second time ever hosting, and the first time I kept safety car on simulation, and so it ruined quite a few races, and it was a stinker. But we'll be better today. I won't be as active in the Twitch chat because I'm keeping an eye on Division 2 General just to make sure things run smooth. And for the first time me being able to say this, wait for me for the announcements. So MSC Apollo in the Discord, that's the only one who you should be listening to in regards to readying up and restart pings. See, this is what would be great to test if there is a restart, which we don't want. It would be brilliant to test today and see, does having someone not on the grid make things run smoother when we restart? So we're not going to need the tyre graphic, you silly Billy. Turn my fan on as well so I don't die a slow death. At some point I am also going to have to go and pack because I'm going on holiday tomorrow and I'm delaying that to bring HRA. It's Ramsey, starts his first flying lap. Let's go on board around the Marina Bay Street Circuit. F1's first night race, 2008, they first raced it. Back in the day, the track looked very similar, but today is a very different Marina Bay, of course. Sector 1, we had the mighty Singapore Sling. Nowadays, it's a lot more tame. And, of course, we're missing half of the last sector, which, in my opinion, is the best bit of this track. So Marina Bay has lost a little bit of life recently, but 23 corners, it is an absolute challenge for the drivers. This is the one track, to quote Matt WTF1 or Matt P1 or ex-Matty G as he was known back in the day in YouTuber series. He said you can't banter at this track because you just end up in the wall. This track is so constant, there's always something to do. You've got a bit more of a break these days. Ramsey's still quite over revving the engine. That is something that I'll message him after the stream, because that's something I do like to do, is nitpick people's driving. It may frustrate them, but at the end of the day, I do it to help. As Ramsey goes P1 for now. We've got people yet to finish flying laps. Next across the line will be a Haas to start a lap. As Mendel finishes his lap, a 28.9, strong banker. Today is a big race for one person in particular. He'll know that. Carl. He quite frankly, round 1 was strong, but inconsistent. Round 2, last round out in Zandvoort, he had a stinker. Got in his own head, and it fell to bits. I'll be honest, I'm Haas team principal, so I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to be working with him when my wheel arrives. If Bloomsy goes fastest, I'm going to be working with him when my wheel arrives to help him get past it, and just in general. As I learn the game, I'll teach him what I know, so I'm going to be Haas team principal, helping out a RB driver, racing for Williams if Ironland holds off on that seat in Division 1. Carl goes P2. 5 tenths off Bloomsy, who I believe is our championship leader. Once again, apologies if the chat is not read and kept up. For those of you joining, I have being the host to contend with for today. Weather is on random, and as you can see, I made sure to put start time on realistic because Marina Bay under the lights just sits right. So, of those that have completed laps so far, Hampan is invalid. Prezi is on outlap. Jackie goes P7. Nico is on a flyer as well. We'll see where he goes, but we have had near enough 10 drivers. Nico boxes. Near enough 10 drivers setting their flying laps. 9 to be precise. And as it stands, end of first flyers, Bloomsy P1 from Carl Power, 5 tenths in the gap there. But these two very much going to be in their own league, it would seem, so far, as Bloomsy's 5 tenths quicker than Carl and Carl's 5 tenths quicker than Mendel. But past there, things slightly tight, and then it does spread out towards Shad at the back. So things always hot up at Marina Bay. We don't have a massive grid today. A lot of people on holiday. 2 people hammer late back from work, and the other guy just didn't join. So numbers are low, but this is going to happen this time of the year. It's summer holidays across the world. Everyone is getting their holiday in. Don't make sense, to be fair, if you're not in school. Like, actually, if you got kids, yeah, but if you're a lone wolf, like myself, go on holiday when it's not summer holidays or half term and that, because it's cheaper. But it is good to get them all out of the way, and it is good to have a break every now and then. I've had a lot of breaks recently, and quite frankly, I have needed them. And they keep you rejuvenated, ready to go. When I come back from my 10-day holiday, not next week, the week after, I'll be gone for Division 1 and 2. And next week, so 2 days, no Div 1. Next week, we're all good. Week after, no comms from me at all. But then I'm back the week after that. And hopefully I'll have a wheel, so by then we may have a new commentator for Division 1. But I'll stick with Div 2. So I'll be streaming my own races, of course, if people want to hop in and watch a racer's view or something, but that won't be on the official Twitch. Shameless plug out the way. Apologies to the Haas boys as well. I said I'd be hosting a practice session today, and I just remembered now. So yeah, sorry about that, lads. Prezi goes P6, strong lap. Nico, Drem, Hampan yet to set flying laps. Bloomsy on an out lap. Jackie has gone up to P3. That's a big name, putting himself up the board. This is one we're going to be watching as it develops. Bloomsy. As Pintita needs an invite. As apologies for the delay. Anyone watching the VOD back wondering what's going on, someone's asked for an invite who is not in the session at the moment, and we want to make sure they get in their car, get their setup on before the end of quali. Oh we go. I don't think chat is all good. Sorry about that, but any concerns, put them in the Discord, Pintita, because I won't be too active in this chat. But good to see you on the grid, and good luck out there around these tight and twisty walls of Marina Bay, a track that I really want to go to watch F1 in real life. That's a goal of mine. It's just so beautiful. Nice weather as well. As these two both on flyers. Bloomsy first of the lot. As we're going to have a look at what his Sector 2 split is. Is he up? Is he down? He's 5 tenths up. Carl is 1 tenth up in Sector 1. And is 6 tenths up in Sector 2. So both finding time out there. Racing for their respective teams. As apologies, there's not 23 corners. I forget they have removed a few of them. 17. It's actually 19 turns. My track map is incorrect. As Bloomsy did improve and Carl got a little bit closer. It's all game into that final bunch of flyers. Alright, Losey wants an invite. Let's sort that out. Once again, dealing with things in the chat. Someone needed an invite. Someone's dealt with it nicely. A reminder, the Strem is out of the session. Apologies for missing that. A reminder that if you could please, when you are in the race, if I don't add you on EA, or don't have you, please add this account. It's not for clout or anything, it is simply to get you back in the lobby. This feels like press the Sky Q or Sky Glass remote thing that Crofty does. You know, gotta watch the battle channel and that or whatever. But no, if you add us, it just makes life so much easier getting you back in. There is someone who is always going to be here. Most likely on this account, I'll be honest. It's a good chance it'll be on their personals, but it will be someone with admin power of some sorts. So they're going to have you added. And if you're on Xbox as well, add it on Xbox. Nice and simple for me. Is an expensive thing running this account on the side. But thanks to the HRA admins, they purchased a code after kindly giving me a commentator award last season, which paid for this game and part of mine, which I was very, very thankful for. As Losey in the session on an outlap, ready to get going then. He will get his flying up in. Bloomsy on an outlap. We'll see what he's going to be able to do. Further down, Prezi and Hampan. Impressive stuff from my lads. That's Losey on an outlap. Pentita as well on a flyer. We'll see what he can do. Of course, no positive or negative on the Delta due to this being Pentita's one and only flying lap. So far, he's waited right to the end of the session to give it a go. What does he do? Goes P11. Not the strongest of laps, but a lap nonetheless. As Losey doing the exact same. But, alas, the leaders a tad bit more sought after. And this is big, invalid for Bloomsy. That means his tyres are going to do another lap. He can get his flyer in, but it is going to be an awkward one. It is going to be an awkward one for sure for Bloomsy. One more lap on the tyres is all it takes, because it is it's one hell of a lap round Marina Bay. Your tyres take a thrashing if you're pushing or if not. Oh, Drem's just giving us an update. Thank you, Drem, for the crash update. Tried to stick to a wall after giving teammates slipstream, and a bit stuck out and took his wheel out. As Prezi's out of the session as well. He's done that in the pits. Okay. My heart, my poor little heart. As if that got my heart going, it'll surely get yours going. This is Carl on his flying lap, looking for redemption today. He's got to remember, though, if he starts second, he can always settle into a groove second. It's not always about going for the win. It's about finishing strong. This is not a one-race championship. It is a 11 in the case of Division 2. An 11-race championship. You want to be there at the end of it, in the fight. If it ends in the wall too often, there will be no chance of that. Checker flag it out for Hawash. Prezi and Jerome will not improve. Bloomsy is in the pits, does not improve. Carl then on the lap of laps here for himself. DRS open. What's Sector 2 split like? He's 2 tenths up. Strong so far from Carl, but he will look to continue it. If he's getting his mindset in the right groove, he will know it's not about the first 2 sectors. Now it's all about these last 4 corners and hooking them up to the best of his ability. Right out to the wall, he strings it. He's going to downshift, blip it into 5th here. No, keeps it 6th. Keeps the revs nice. Chucks it round the final corner and doesn't improve by enough. It did not fully come to fruition there, but it cements himself in that position. Unless Jackie Gabana can get the Scuderia onto the front row. Right now, second row of the grid as Hampan sets a lap of laps to go P3. Strong showing from the Haas boys, which I am very proud of, must be honest. Jackie, as Mendel goes P6. Strong lap from the Red Bull man. Ooh, snap of oversteer for Jackie. This lap might not be it. Indeed. He's backed off, coming to the line. There is your final standings, barring Ramsey, who is 18 seconds down. Alright, this is your time to take a break, people. Have a drink. I've added a 10-minute, which is more than the admins normally go for, but I feel like this is going to be a long one, so and I had no clue, so I thought I'd rather go too long than too short. Some people might need to go for a number 2. As we wait to get going, I am going to be doing my packing. As we await to get going, there is good prospects for this race. Incredibly close, less than a tenth between pole and P2. The midfield fight, as always, in Division 2 will be electric. As we get ready to get going. Just 7 minutes. Let's go. Alrighty. So, I'm back from my break. We go in 5 minutes. And there is a rumour from the drivers. There is rain at the end. Marina Bay never disappoints. It is either a horrific race where we just chat about F1, or it is an absolute belter beyond comprehension. Alrighty. Hammy, you get thinking about ordering pizza, he says. I apologise for the break being a little long in chat. And Hammy replies, thinking about ordering pizza. Come on, man. Just a couple minutes. I think next time 8 will be better if I'm ever hosting again. If I do disconnect and there is a safety car and someone invite me back, alright, Ramsey is disconnected. Ramsey just delaying things. We will not. Alrighty. Alrighty, signal has been given to ready up. For anyone not with the Discord open, please ready up. We get ready to go, lads. Alrighty. Here we go then. For Singapore. In Division 2, round 3. It's lights out and away we go. Looks like a strong start from the pole sitter. Indeed it was. Side by side Hampan into turn 1. Takes P2 over Carl, but still side by side. The Haas and the RB fighting it tooth and nail. This is, well, quite frankly, scary stuff. As all contact between Prezi and, was that a Ferrari? As we can see in the background, Mendel and Jackie fighting out. Look at this onboard camera. Absolute chaos. We've got a car on our right-hand side. Cars going side by side ahead of us. I'm not sure how it's going. There's a spin in the background. Rogue Nico has made contact with Ramsey. I believe it was Ramsey he made contact with. Apologies if it wasn't. As they're side by side ahead. Look at this for a camera angle. Drem's on board as we'll blink to this fight. Oh, contact. The Alpine might have damage there. Drem looks to the inside. It's absolute chaos and carnage. He gets fed out into the wall. Now he's got his teammate behind him. End plates flying left, right and centre. Chaos here at Singapore. Marina Bay throwing up an absolute classic. As look at this. Bloomsy has gapped the leaders as Hampan did take P2 on Carl. As Bloomsy looks to extend that gap as that's off. Off goes Ramsey. Oh no, his wheel's disconnected. VSC deployed. If he can get it paused, it might flip him the right way round. You can see he's got control. He'll get going again. But it is a VSC. Heartbreak for Ramsey, but there will be plenty more chances. Safety cars are regular around Marina Bay. But look at this. This is going to be absolute carnage on the restart. Incredible scenes this will be. As we still wait to get going here. We are green once again at Marina Bay. DRS enabled and instantly drivers on the button. Let's see if there are any opportunistic moves heading in to the 90-degree left as Ramsey retires in the pits. I'm so sorry, Ramsey. That is not how I wanted to see that go. But feel free to stick around in the chat. Enjoy the racing. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. Quality stuff from HRA, as it always is. So we see Kick Sauber going a little wide there. Hawash may have a look on the back of Drem. Nothing in doing. Pintita is all over the back of Losey as well. So that's Alpine on Williams. This is Alpine on Kick Sauber. 4P7. We'll keep an eye on that. But this is a fight we all want to see. Bloomsy pulling a Prime Verstappen and dropping a gear or more, going up a gear to disappear. Out front, leading by 4 seconds. That gap steady from where it was pre-VSC. So no big time gain there. Big slide for Jackie. Tends to be his style. He's a very slidey driver. Tyres don't like that these days though. But if it works for him and he can extract pace out of it, I see no reason why not. Or it could just be curb physics in this game forcing him to drive that way. You never really know. But here we go into the DRS zone. We'll have a look at this for a fight here. That gap getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Carl jinks to the inside. Doesn't quite go down the inside. No fights further back there. We'll have a look at this one because Drem has been dispatched of by Hawash, who takes P7. Further back, Pintita has got Losey in that fight, and Losey will now have Rogue Nico to worry about. As this fight for the lead, well, for P2, sorry, getting incredibly intense. Bloomsy has gapped 5 tenths from the last point of asking. Well, 3 now. Yeah, I'm so sorry to see that, Ramsey. I'm going to reopen chat for a quick second. But if you're still here, Ramsey, can I offer you a word of advice that I was going to DM you. Try shifting a little earlier when, like when I'm on board with you. I notice you go up to near enough red limiter. It's about 12,000 where you want to be shifting rather than 13. So you see these guys, as soon as they hit 12 they upshift, whereas 13.5 is about where you're shifting, so that'll give you a little bit more, maybe a tenth or two a lap, and your engine temps will be so much nicer, so you can push. Yeah, it's one of those horrendously bad habits. I used to do it. I used to slam the downshifts when I broke to over rev, and it would make the ABS kick in, slow me down on braking zones. It was horrible in the wet, and my engine temps used to soar, and that took months to drill out of my driving style. And I still do it. It's something that I will never be changed over, as Kai has got past Horn, who now is teammate Pintita. P3 in the championship last season. I keep mentioning this because he drove a brilliant season last season. He joined midway through, I believe, and ultimately he has been a brilliant addition to the HRA lineup as Shad into the pits. As this is the joys of Marina Bay. Look at how intense this racing is. Other than that, Ramsey, you're driving pretty strong. Oh, Wise hitting the wall is Horn. Yeah, that's the thing. I used to hate Monaco, as Carl has dispatched Hampan, who runs slightly wide, rejoins safely, and is dispatched off by his Haas teammate. He shouldn't fight that one too hard, but he does now have Mendel behind to worry about. But the Haas boys can work together here. Not prime position for a double podium. Carl will look now to close in on Bloomsy. He must get into the groove, as that's going wide there. Prezi letting his teammate back past. But has he done it in the wrong place and the wrong time? Because that is Mendel dispatching him to the inside. But goes wide. Switchback is on for Prezi, as he's still there, ever present on the outside. Touches the wall. May have received minor damage from that, but with reduced damage he may have got away with it. Nothing visual on our end. And I'll be plainly honest. That's going wide. No, that is Shad being lapped by this lot. And brilliant job, might I say, for Shad, slowing down, adhering to the blue flags. That is what us and the admin team and the stewards want. If you have blue flags, ignore your race. It is not, oh, I'm ghosted, they'll pass me. It's like real life blue flags. You ignore it for too long, the stewards will be onto you, and you will get a penalty on top. Probably for next race, because if you're being lapped, you're probably on the back of a stinker. So the penalties will probably be meaningful. As Bloomsy sets out 31.3. Crazy lap times. As these guys are setting, what's Kai setting? PB. So 8 tenths off the lead pace. That is ridiculous. As we can now bring the tyre graphic up. Oh, position gained. Yeah. Who cares about that? Yellow flags are out for a spinner. It's Hampan in the wall. Hampan on the exit of what is that? That is turn 5 or turn 6, I believe. He's lost an end plate, and it will be pit and hope for a safety car. What rig do you have, Ramsey? You the you have CSL Elite, weren't it? Or was that Car Power? Because the CSL load cell kit, if your pedals are mounted to something solid, brilliant. I had mine mounted to a solid mount on the floor that I bolted to my desk on the floor, and that was brilliant. But the moment I went to a traditional, a Placey, I believe it's Challenger, the non-foldable one, it's got a bit of flex in it, and so load cells don't work with it, but I can recommend. Load cells are very different though. It's is strange. It's not the pedal travel, it's how much force you put into it. So it will take some getting used to, but ultimately you'll be able to get to peak braking power so much quicker because you don't have to get that travel, you just put more pressure in. So straight away when the brake's full pressure, 100%, it will gain you about a tenth a lap if you master it. And ultimately that's free time gain. Like I gained over a second when I went from Thrustmaster TMX to my CSL Elite with the P1 wheel add-on. And then I gained another 3 tenths on top of that a couple of years later when I got the CSL, the Club Sport Formula V 2.5 rim, which honestly, that thing is incredible. You could stick it in a race car and it'll work fine. But alas, I am going to be a Mozza boy now because I have ordered a wheel. It is official, I am coming back. I will be racing again, which I'm so happy about, honestly. I'm not going to get giddish and excited because there's a race going on, especially between these two. They've been going at it for a while now. As Nico takes back the position, but yeah, I've got a Mozza on the way, which they did scare me about. I paid the full amount and they accidentally put it onto cancelled. Didn't tell me. So I'm 4 or 5 days after I ordered it, I'm like, I haven't got an email. Oh, it's cancelled. Oh, they took the money out my account. And that got me so annoyed that I was shaking. Like, it was weird. I've never been so frustrated before because it's 560 quid I took it on my account and my order is cancelled and I hadn't dispatched it. And if I didn't notice that within 14 days, they could have said no to give my money back. I just woke up and felt something was wrong that day, and I don't know, maybe there's a man upstairs looking out for me. He wants me back racing. It's exciting. He likes the commentary, but he's got a bit bored of it. It is. I do want to see if I can get sort of like someone else in commentary with me, because in Div 2, I love doing Div 2 alone, because we waffle when it's like this. We have a good time. We chat. And ultimately, we enjoy some racing. We talk racing. I mean, I'm thinking about talking about Adrian Newey at some point on this stream, because rumor has it with Newey, 400 million for a 4-year contract. That's a spin further back. That's Shad. $400 million for 4 years. That feels like a lot of money. Thankfully, it doesn't come out of budget cap, because your top 3 most paid employees do not take out of your budget cap. There's a bot in the chat. Ignore that. We don't need viewers. What does it mean, best viewers as well? It's Mendel's past Prezi as I'm waffling away. And he's all over the back of Carl now, who can use this to try and keep his head, but he's had a snap of oversteer, and Mendel has pounced. Bloomsy as well, out in the lead by quite a way. Carl tried to stick it in there and hold it up the inside, couldn't quite, and he's down to P3. He's got the Haas staring him down. Jackie's dropped off this a little bit, but he's going to try and clap back at these guys. As Carl re-overtakes Mendel, who has a look to the inside, can't do it. That might invite the Haas of Prezi to get a better exit. Ooh, hits the wall. Oh dear, that's not going to be ideal for the front wing. These bits of micro damage. I remember on 2021 you scraped the wall and got micro damage, barely visible. It will cost you second a lap at the top level, so that was not a fun experience. But yeah, I'll be back racing. I'll be streaming that on my personal. but we'll have to find someone to commentate. Unfortunately. As that looks like that's wide for Carl, and Dell is all over the back of him here. This is one hell of a mighty scrap from these guys. Just putting some music on just for myself, just so I don't end up falling asleep, because I am very, very tired right now. I think I've trained myself to not yawn too much as well. So that's my habit. I forget to breathe in commentary. There's always so much going on. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be interested, because I've driven a CSL Elite. I've driven a 458 Italia wheel with an elastic band inside of it as resistance. Thrustmaster TMX that was on its last legs. A Logitech G920, which, might I say, I went from a CSL Elite to a G920 and was in a 10th of my lap times. That 920 is a very good wheel. That was around Monaco, and I pitted once for damage, I think, because it was bolted onto the desk very poorly and fell off, kind of, while I was going through to back, and I scraped the wall on the exit. Did new front wing. Still got a podium. And that was at Monaco, which is one of the tracks that I used to not enjoy back on 17 and 18 and a bit of 19. I did not enjoy Monaco, so I bullied the living daylights out of it, and now it's one of the most joyful tracks on the game to drive. But I'm gonna be sort of almost documenting my journey from a year out of racing. Last time was round 2 in the first season on last year's game. It's been that long. So I'm going to be rusty as hell, and I'm going to be documenting my journey back to the top. But yeah. There's a ping in HRA. What's this for? Settings. As here we go. Prezi to the outside. Carl has checked out of this fight on his hard tyres. They are starting to come into their own. So will later in the race. That's Mendel touching the wall. But it's going to be interesting as Rogue Nico and Kai still fighting it out for the wooden spoon. But I cannot wait. Racing games are genuinely like therapy. Coming home after a tough day at work, we've all done it. Coming home after a tough day, whether it be school, work, or just in general, and just loading up F1, loading up Forza Motorsport, loading up Assetto Corsa or ACC, whatever your game of choice is, and bullying the life out of a certain track and car combo. For me, it used to be Assetto Corsa or Forza Motorsport 7 in general, the online open lobbies, or Assetto Corsa in Senna's 85 or Lotus, I think it's the 85 or 86 car. We'll turn the boost up to max, and it's got like 1200 horsepower and lap the Nürburgring. 3 or 4 laps. Biggest screen you'll ever see. Yellow flags. That shad has gone off. Still a yellow as it stands. But I occupied myself with other games for a while. It was Minecraft. Well, it was mainly really Roblox of all things up till Christmas, and then it was Minecraft, and now it's Rocket League. But I've got to start racing again. It's truly real waffle hours right now, because not too much going on other than this fight. But if anyone's ever endurance racing karting, I have one of them coming up in October, late October. As here comes Prezi. Is he going to do the move here? Surely not. Down the inside he goes. Job's a good one. Mendel looks to the switchback. Nothing in doing. There is a Haas off on pit entry. That will be Hampan entering the pits to retire. Another torrid race for Hampan as he struggles for form, but he will find it again. He is a quick driver. We've seen that time and time again. He's got better this game as well. As I'm in game chat again. Hey, at least I was saying something nice this time. But he has got better. He knows that. And that's probably why he's struggling. Because with being better, there's ultimately more pressure. Being the best gives the most pressures. Oh, Mendel, that's wide. Had to flutter the wheel a bit. Lock up on entry. And Prezi is allowed into the distance. But yeah, I've got an endurance race at Daytona Milton Keynes coming up late October. I've got 2 radios sitting next to me on charge. I've got 2 more I've got to charge. And we're going to rotate them. As Hampan leaves the session. Horrid luck. Oh, snap from Nico. Everyone struggling to get to grips. Oh, blimey. As we are just scratching halfway through this race. I do have to hit the gym for that endurance race though, because that's one thing about real life racing that you don't get. It's in a sim, you get tired physically and mentally, yeah, physically a little bit if you're on a wheel. It's mainly just sweat. But in the car, it is everything. I did D-Max karts, which have 125 Rotax, capable of 65 plus mile an hour on their tracks. Thank you, Ironland. You are an absolute legend as well. But yeah, that and me and my friend Albini, if anyone knows him in the community, I know him as Joe. We did a 6-hour endurance race. This is one hell of a fight between these two as I'm waffling on. They are fighting on. This fight has been going on since about lap 6. And after Nico's spin, he is looking to recover as Drem passes Pintita in the background. All contact made between the Kick Sauber and the Williams. Williams kicks the Sauber out of the way. And Drem will not enjoy that one. Tucks back in, unable to do anything. Prezi has closed up to the back of Carl here. You'd think Carl's hard tyres would be starting to develop and come of age, but they are not quite yet. As into the pits comes both of them. But now Carl will have the tyre advantage for this first half of this next stint. Bloomsy pits, Mendel pits. It is crunch time. Halfway through the race. Seems to be when everyone is diving into the pits except from Jackie. He'll go long and try and overcut. As Bloomsy comes out behind Shad, who may just give him DRS if he's lucky. But he doesn't need it. He is well clear of everyone else. It's been pole. If Jackie pits this lap, it will still be on for the grandest of slams. But he'll need a fastest lap as well to do that. Pardon me. Which he does not hold. That is a 130.5 from Hampan, who may have nicked that away. That is quite a tall ask at this stage of the race. But yeah, 24-hour race, you got to hit the gym. And when we did that race, considering these aren't regular 4-stroke hire karts, these are 2-stroke monsters that realistically you shouldn't drive more than an hour in at once, because it will get you. It will get you. And there's left-handers. There's a left-hander which you enter at 64, 65 mile an hour, and literally it's just blip the throttle to 95, 90% and back on it like that. Click your fingers off on like that. And so you're taking this corner at 60 mile an hour, so your rib cage is exposed to that seat bare. And by the end of it, I woke up the next day, right hand side completely bruised. And it rained halfway through, and if it didn't, I would have died. I would have cracked a rib, quite frankly, because I was not stopping that race. Paid too much. You're supposed to have a 6-man team, and we had a 2-man team. But that is something why I really recommend real life racing, because I had arguably the most fun stint I think I will ever have in my life. We had a poor quali. I was doing the quali lap. I messed up. Short on arrows. I didn't get the tyres in the right working window. I didn't weave enough on my outlap, because it was a one-shot quali, I believe. And it's just a sloppy lap. But I started second to last, and there were 2 big teams fielding 2 karts each, so four places unobtainable, because they were all like pro level drivers, junior Rotax champions and stuff like that. But by the end of the stint, considering that I had to sieve through 10 karts in an hour, which the further I got up, the faster they were, and by the end of it they were similar pace to me. But because I'd raced these things before, similar things, a little bit less understeer in mine, but cheers, Iron. It's going to be a bit of a boring one, but it is what it is, you know. It was, I must say, it's been brilliant being able to have hose powers and stuff, because if ever there's anything going wrong or anything, I can respond to it so quick. As here comes the Bloomsy on Jackie, retakes the net lead of the race. It won't be a grand slam, thanks to Jackie. Yeah, it's Singapore. Sometimes though, LSA, for some reason, LSA a couple years ago, I remember, a belter of a race. That thing had everything. Genuinely, I don't know if there's a VOD for that somewhere out there, but if there is, man. That was early days with me commentating. Beautiful. But yeah. Real life karting is something that if you enjoy F1 games and you play sim, I recommend, because if you're decent at sim, you're going to be decent IRL, because I went from sim to kart. People normally do it the other way around. I went from sim to kart, and I was a bit fearless, to be honest. Back when I started racing, I wasn't very level-headed, so I was 14, 15 when I first got in a kart, which is quite old, but I'd matured enough to the point where I was pushing within my limits. And yeah, oh, Carl's on the soft, that's a bit of a strange one. And I went out there and ragged it within an inch of its life, and in my first ever session I was within 2 seconds of the lap record. And there was someone who was in the junior league there, which is the under 16s, which I joined literally a week later, who was only 2 temps quicker than me in the first session, and I was on them in the second, where I chucked another 2 temps off my time. It's only a little track in Cromer in the UK called Kart Track Cromer. You'll see it on the branding of the greatest karting driver that there is in the UK right now, Jack Tritton, because he belongs to that track. He is funded by the track's profits, quite frankly. Division 1 Superkart champion on his debut season. He'd done Div 2 for a couple of seasons and won it. Ooh, Shad. Ballerina Shad, unfortunately. Shad is struggling out there. But, as ever, he will find his feet. And, another random disclaimer. If ever I make a dig at you like I did at Shad there, it's not out of spite. I don't intend to annoy you. It is intended solely as a joke. But if you want me to stop, just let me know, because I will. I tend to try not to be a bigot, because that's not very good. Nor is it acceptable in this lovely community. Jackie is going to go onto softs. That's what he's going to do here. And I think it might just pay off. But he's got the traffic to get through, which is going to be his biggest issue. Well spotted, Raven. But Bloomsy out the front. I think they're already engraving his name on the trophy. As it stands, if you take Jackie out the mix, the gap to the next best is 12.1 seconds. This has been Bloomsy domination. Hampan, Ramsey dropped it. If you look at the track map, the corner at the start of the DRS, start the first DRS straight, just dropped it on the exit there. Front wing went, pitted, tried to hang it out, but just it wasn't meant to be. Got damage again, and I think got in his own head. Carl is going to have to pit again. That is what I'm getting from this. Indeed he does. Carl into the pits. Jack is as well. So we get going again. How does this guy keep doing this? It's like every time I don't notice him throughout the entire race. Yeah, one or two banger moves here and there, but he just lives his life and he's in P4 again. This guy's something else on this game, man. He's just there, always, ever present. I cannot give him enough props. He is an incredible driver on this game, especially. He was strong last game towards the end, but this is a rate of improvement that is incredible. He's like the intrinsic of Division 2. He's always just pops up in these good positions. He's got his podium this season. He's at a P4 and a podium. He's on for another P4 right now. Hawash is carrying Alpine. Of course, Losey here now is going to be helping out with that ultimately to bag a couple points here and there. He's just so sneaky. Well summed up, Raven. Love his VR set. See, this is going to sound like I'm depressing it, but I can't do VR anymore because it gives me headaches. Last time I used the VR goggles was before lockdown and I had a migraine. I was playing like super hot and I noticed that one of my eyes was going a bit funny and a bit blurry and a spot was getting bigger. I was like, oh boy, here we go. It's got to the point where I don't dread it when it happens. I just get the bucket, I just get my water and I go sit in a dark room. And I'll come out 6 hours later perfectly fine as if nothing happened. Strange one. Yeah. All strings back to the fact that you lot should wear blue light tinted glasses. I know they have a yellow tint as Shad retires on the track. Safety car! Full safety car deployed. Righty then. Race electrified. And Carl Power has been screwed over by that one, quite frankly. This does spice it up. 9 laps to go. Do you pit or do you stay out? Safety car won't be out for too long because the field is pretty bunched up, you know. Actually, I'm going to retract that. It's not really. Bloomsy, you'd think he'd pit here. He'd come out P3. Makes sense. And indeed it does. That means you'll see Mendel and Prezi dive into the pits as well. And unless Hawash is looking for a gamble to try and bag a podium, him and everyone else under the sun will dive into the pits. It's medium to Bloomsy. Do they go soft? Do they go medium? Soft for Mendel. Prezi stays out in the Haas. Harsh into the pits. Pintita into the pits. Drem into the pits. We've got Horn is staying out. So he will gain a ton of places from this. Up to P4. Harsh has had poor pit stop, I think, and is down to P8. Now this is going to be spicy. It is race on. Ooh, someone's just messaged me on Instagram. Let's make sure that I respond. Alrighty, into the pits comes Jackie. Might as well put some new softs on. Get a bit of life back into them. Alrighty. This is going to be an interesting one. Will the Haas be able to hold form out front and keep the podium that he was in before? Or will staying out have thrown it out of the window? It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be close. Will the mediums be best, or will it be the softs? Questions that ultimately there's only one way to answer, and that is with a green flag we should be getting at the end of this lap. The safety car surely will peel into the pits here around the streets of Marina Bay, Singapore, and we will get going this lap. This one is going to be an intense one. I'm going to reset the party, make sure I don't speak in game chat. Alrighty. Here we go then, people. As we cross the line, it will be 6 laps of racing here. No DRS until the start of lap 26. 5 laps of DRS, 6 laps of racing. Here we go then. Prezi gets going as soon as he can, further back in the background. There is side-by-side action. There's a Mercedes of Nico to the inside of Horn. Does he get the position? Yes, he does. Sneaks it down the inside. Harash gets another time penalty for multiple warnings. That is Nico up to P4. Great stuff from Rogue Nico on the restart. Prezi leads the way. Bloomsy P2. Mendel P3. All as it was there. As we'll keep an eye on this, Bloomsy is all over the back of him. Doesn't get him yet. Mendel must pounce very soon because his tyres will go off. Pintita makes contact with his teammate, and that will give him a bad exit. Or Horn makes contact with his teammate Pintita, who gets bumped into the wall by Drem. Harash backs off, probably an illegal overtake, and the mixed safety car is not out. That is just a glitch, thank gosh. Further back, look at this for close gaps. Losey gets a snap of oversteer. That Williams has half a front wing. And locks up, goes wide. Hawash says, thank you very much. I'm up to P7 now. Prezi still leads the way, followed by Bloomsy and Mendel. That's as it was. Jackie gets past Horn as well. No front wing on Horn. Well, end plate damage. And Losey will look to pounce soon as well. Kai will look to recover as well. Try and back some points out of Horn going to the pits. DRS enabled. Here comes Bloomsy to the inside at turn 1. Easy as you do it. And Mendel may even sneak up the inside here. They are gapping Rogue Nico though, who has Pintita behind and Angry. We'll take the tire graphic away for a second and try and memorize these penalties. 3 for everyone and 9 for Losey. Still intense up the front. Mendel can't get past Prezi here, who will try and hold on to DRS as long as possible, because as long as he's within that second to Bloomsy, he will be safe for the most part from Mendel, who is all over the back of him here. Will he take the position? Heading into there, no, not quite. As we go under the bridge, famous for cutting out F1 cars back in 2014 and causing all sorts of electrical havoc up till they reinforced the cabling above the track. It will cause havoc on the data. It's not caused any havoc for the drivers today because this is sim. That is havoc of its own right, and that is Mendel getting past Prezi, who held out and stayed out the pits. It's not looking like the right call right now as Pintita has passed and dispatched of Rogue Nico, who will try to stick with them. Drem is all over the back of Nico though. Jackie all over the back of Harash for P8. Horn and Losey still fighting out. There's contact between the two of them. Bloomsy sets the fastest lap of the race out front as he's gapping Mendel. It's Pintita within a second of Prezi. It's Harash and Jackie side by side into turn 1. Jackie takes the position on the Alpine man, who was sitting P4, but after pitting came out about P7, P8, and he's sat there since the restart, unable to do much. Kai and Losey and Horn will be fighting it out here as well. So here comes Harash to the outside. Jackie will run a little wide. Harash can't get the switch back further ahead. Drem and Nico make contact in their fight. Nico holds the position for now on Drem, but that is getting awfully intense. Speaking of intensity, up the front there's also a collision further back. Losey, Kai and Jackie. Jackie seems to have been fed into a wall somewhere or made a mistake in the fight with Harash, as Drem and Nico still fighting it out. Pintita and Prezi within the DRS of Mendel. This is one hell of an end to this race. Lap 27, it's still going on here. It has settled a little bit, but here comes Drem to the inside of Rogue Nico. They make contact yet again, but Drem has dispatched of Nico. Nico with no penalties though will try and hold on for them 4 laps. A 6-lap older, 1 step harder compounder tyre. It's going to be difficult for Rogue Nico. He does have a Harash as well, who will be looking to move up some positions. Who will be filling up his mirrors very shortly with the black and blue of Alpine. But right now, all he will be seeing is red as he looks to get past Nico. But Nico's sticking with Drem so far. This is what he needs to do, but he's got a penalty. Now he needs to pass Drem to have a realistic shot of the podium here. Of a P5 here, sorry. And he is looking to the inside. Goes Rogue Nico on Drem. They make contact, they touch, and it slows them down massively. And now Hawash has the hot seat for this fight. Switchback attempt from Nico. Drem cuts it off. They make contact. This race all over the place. Lightning action towards the end as we have those who stayed out like Prezi and Nico, and those who have pitted like Hawash and Drem fighting it out. Pintita is now within Prezi, within his DRS, and Prezi has dropped off the back of Mendel, who isn't able to respond to Bloomsy's pace right now, and Mendel's tyres will be dropping off. They'll be over 30% by now as he's pushing like crazy, but Bloomsy still extending the gap as he has done all race long. Prezi's had a good last couple corners and has closed in, but Pintita now is right on the edge of the overtaking threshold in terms of gap behind. You want to be at half a second behind here to maximize your chances heading into that first DRS zone, and it looks like Pintita is going to be in the hot seat. He'll have the traction advantage, he'll have the slipstream, the DRS, and use of his battery to try and get past the Haas and back himself a podium on a merit, on a net position. But when he does this move, which it will happen, he will have to pull out 3 seconds in as many laps. For Pintita, this must be a charge. But he will pull Prezi on for the lap or so. That he is within the second. As Nico and Hawash side by side. Here comes Hawash down the inside of Nico, who sweeps clean around the outside and holds the position. Yellow flags further back. That's Kai. Has had an error in there and is off. Jackie, Losey and Horn still fighting out, still wrestling their cars, try and swap the final points playing positions. Here comes Hawash on Nico, who denies him yet again. Nico has been ruthless on the defense all race long. Have a look at this. That battle for the podium for Prezi still not over. He's sticking with Pintita, who has now connected him to the back of Mendel in the form of a DRS train. And he may look to pick up the scraps from any battling there, as Bloomsy has well and truly checked out on the penultimate lap. We are Nico and Hawash. Nico cuts the corner massively, uses up a warning on his attempts to defend this P6, which will be a brilliant position for Nico. Hawash's tyres will be starting to drop. Horn has closed up, has been passed by Jackie. And Losey looks to sweep clean round the outside. That'll be one hell of a move. Corner cut there from Horn. Losey round the outside, gets the DRS. So does Horn. They're side by side, heading down towards the braking zone. Clean round the outside goes Horn, but Losey still keeps the nose in. They are side by side. Heading through here, contact made and into the wall. No, keeps it, and Losey gets it right round the outside. Jobs are good, and P9 on track, but with penalties of 9 seconds, he will fall out of that position as Nico and Hawash still fighting out. Hawash gets a snap of oversteer, looking to pass Nico, but at the front, Prezi still using Pintita to connect him to the back of Mendel, whose tyres will be dropping, and now Prezi's will be in the prime seat as we head on to the final lap of the race. They will be in prime seat as Nico and Hawash still fighting out. Nico still defends. Brilliant stuff as dive bomb from Hawash makes contact with Nico, backs off. That is a very, very risky dive. Didn't work out, but immediately he backed out. No time lost as Horn gets another time penalty. We're going to bring up the time penalty graphic for the last lap of the race. And this is going to be the one to watch. Will Pintita feed Mendel out and try and force a bit of battling between Prezi and Mendel? He's certainly going to go for a move here. Mendel defends to the inside. He knows this can't go. And there's contact in the mix. Wide goes Mendel. This is exactly what Prezi wanted and exactly what Pintita wanted as well. Side by side goes Prezi. He's up the inside of Mendel. This is 4P2 on the net.
for now, but Mendel sweeps clean round the outside and holds that podium position. Now there's yellow flags further back. Not quite sure who that is for. Bloomsy checked out well and truly now. But Prezi will have to try and stay within that 3 seconds. It is possible for Pinty to put in a lap of laps here. Is Rem any other fighting? Not really here. It is just the fight for the podium places that is going on here. And it is electric right to the line. It's going to be Hawash has made a mistake and gone off. Hawash is off. That's going to put him all the way down to P10. But rounding the final corner, it's been Bloomsy's day from the start. Pole. Believe he got fastest lap. And for the podium, Mendel and Prezi. Pentita couldn't quite get it at the end, but it is Bloomsy P1. An incredible drive throughout. That is nothing short of incredible. Powell, fastest lap. Didn't lead every lap, so it's not quite a Grand Slam, but he will not care at all. That is the perfect race for Bloomsy in terms of points and in terms of form. Very much the driver to beat, and I believe he is our championship leader as well. But Mendel drove an incredible race as well to bag the P2. Prezi as well. A gamble to stay out. Didn't gain in positions, but didn't lose him. P3 for the Haas. Our first podium and as Haas team principal. I am very, very proud of my boys today. Yes, one ended up in the wall, but he had the pace. That is it. Again, quoting Christian Horner as always, we'd rather have a quick car that's unreliable than a slow car that's reliable. But Bloomsy has had a quick car that is reliable, a quick driver that is reliable, and a McLaren man that is on form on the top step yet again. Who can stop him? Quite frankly, who can? Raven will be elated with that as well. Unable to turn up today, but his big name has done the job. Once again, 3 different constructors on the podiums. That's the HRA way. Good for Red Bull. They needed these points as well. And the only 3 drivers not to get penalties around Marina Bay are the podium sitters. That tends to be how it goes around this track. There is your results. Bloomsy P1, 26 points. Mendel second. Prezi third. That's your podium. Pentita, great comeback from P13 from him. Drem up 2 positions. Rogniko up from 11th to 6th. Jackie, poor race from him, unfortunately. Didn't quite work out with the safety car and some mistakes. Horn P8 from P8. Hawash P9 from P9. Lozy up 4 to get points. And Kai unable to do anything. Carl as well. Didn't quite work out for Carl. Again, he struggled. But at the end of the day, once again, the pace was there. But Bloomsy just had that little bit more. That little more bite, that little more bark. And he shreds the competition to bits today. Now that was an end to a race. Wow. I can breathe now. Phew. Man, thank you Division 2 for that end to the race. That was just nothing short of incredible. Just the fighting for the last 9 laps there was absolutely insane. Well, last 6 or so laps, I don't think I managed to get a breath in that was full. And that was... That is the beauty of late race safety cars in racing in general, but in HRA it will always mean action. It will always mean some fun for us viewers. And although the first bit of the stream, good. First bit of the race, good. Middle bit, slumped. Towards the end, come back to us and produced one hell of an ending to a race. Congratulations on the win for the McLaren and for McLaren in general. Bloomsy drove an incredible race. Congrats again to Mendel. Brilliant form as of late. And gets good points on the board for Red Bull. Question is, can Shad pick up the pace and get in the fight? I believe there is the potential there. You'll just have to speak with the team, get some practice in and hook it up. And congratulations to my new driver in Haas. So new that these names completely slipped my mind. Prezi, I believe, is the one. Congratulations. Good podium on, I believe, HRA debut. But that is the race in general for us. And as well, I'd like to say thank you, Nico. That was a good drive. Or congrats, I should say. That was an incredible drive throughout. P6 after starting P11 is not bad going, considering we had 15 in quali. 2 didn't really get to set lap times as they were only in for a lap. Sorry about that. I am going to close it out there anyway. Thank you for joining. I'll join you all next week. Bye bye.